Hi, so this week's topic is advice to parents of trans children. I find this a little difficult to talk about, mostly because I'm coming obviously from the perspective of someone who's transitioning and not the perspective of a parent who's had a child that's transitioned. However, that said, I can definitely kind of provide some general idea of how I would have preferred things to have gone when I came out to my parents. I was really lucky in that my stepmom and father they're very accepting of it and basically told me that they love me no matter what. I don't know that they're particularly well versed in exactly what transition entails, but they do respect who I am and they support me, so to me that's really all that matters. You don't have to know, you don't have to be an expert, but you just have to make an effort to be there for your child. In terms of my mom, she had a much harder time with it, and it took quite a while for her to get used to it and come around to the idea. There was a lot of fighting. It was really kind of a struggle in the beginning. Obviously, it would have been nicer if she had kind of reacted the way that my dad and stepmom did, but that's not how it happened. I think something that's important for parents or guardians to remember is that if your child is coming to you with this information, it's already a very, very sensitive topic and sort of situation. And it's very hard, I think, for a lot of kids to come out to their parents because of how society is structured. But also, most of the time, kids are going to have a hard enough time in their day-to-day life, and home is supposed to be a really safe place for them, somewhere that they should be able to go to get away from other things and to feel accepted and loved no matter what. I think ultimately too, so a lot of parents struggle with the whole transition thing in the beginning from, it's something that's fairly new to them. Most people haven't really heard of it until they're confronted with it. And then there's a lot of misinformation around it. There's a lot of stigma around it. And then there's also sort of the intersecting areas of religion and culture and your upbringing and media, ethnicity. So there's quite a lot of factors going into it. But I think what really helped my mom come around to it was when she finally realized that I was actually happier and I was doing a lot better as I began to transition. And so I think that's what's most important is, it's okay to be upset, but, if that's what's going to make your child happy, then, I think that's really the most important part. As for resources, there are a lot of them. Particularly, I think PFLAG does a lot of trans support groups for parents. So either parents that are transitioning or the parents of children that are transitioning. There are also a lot of LGBTQ centers that you can find online, and you can always call them and ask for information. You can ask your kid where they might be able you could get information. I wouldn't necessarily trust everything you see on the internet because there is still so much misinformation and so many stigmas around it, so you have to be really careful there too. But yeah, that's really the most that I can say from my perspective. It's really just recognizing that your kid is going through a hard time, and what they need most is support and love, like any kid. but it's even more important when they're going to have so many issues to deal with from the outside world. So anyway, yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this week, and I'll see you next Sunday.